I wrote to my friend today. I am in a neutral gear, gliding gracefully in God's abundant grace and loving presence in truth. It's true, these words may sound hi-fi, but sometimes in your life, with what you're going through and how you're trying to cope, these are the beautiful words that soothe the soul and reveal the truth of where the heart, mind, and the spirit is in God's path. That is, if you are in one and you're continuing to experience these beautiful happenings that He puts, revealing Himself to you slowly, so we may receive Him in the totality. And right now it feels like the human nature and the God's real spirit within are actually merging and coming together, complete in the human form and its activities and its living on earth, and complete in the divine nature, in the divine spirit of understanding higher truths and contaminating the human nature to exhibit gentle manners and softness of speech, singing beautiful songs and making beautiful sounds. It's not crazy at all, it's just happening organically and naturally. It just rises up. And I'm sure there are many in the world who are experiencing beautiful presence of His glory within as they watch their lives change and their minds change, and they feel more and more beautiful, and there is a sense of peace and joy within that radiates. I came across this word today of being salt and light. Think about it. Salt is nothing if it loses its flavor. It cannot be favorable, but if it is, it's just what it is in its being, then it's helpful. Same with light. It's nothing to do to light. It just is, radiates its presence and gives glory to everyone who is in its presence. And one can apply that to the human. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's very simple, but if one can think about it and apply it in their daily lives, love can rise and rise, become more and more beautiful, and manifest impossible things through impenetrable spaces, and reveal that there is so much more than what we beat ourselves up in mundane activities and lives, although that's a good start. The striving and the struggling to cope with simple needs and basic desires gets to a point where you let go, and whatever is given for the day you receive and you're happy with it. And the contentment that one can feel is undescribable. So there is a lot of blessings coming its way for all the good children, good souls that are waiting to be free and just live in the moment with the understanding of their self and an absolute oneness in truth from within. No deception, no fear, and certainly not bound to anyone or anything. One gets to a corner, you have to figure it out. Have to figure out the puzzle. There's no way out, and there's no way to run away from it, no matter how hard. And when one goes through the suffering and the pain and the loneliness and the separations, with the awareness and the intent to cope with it or overcome it, an immense strength overtakes it and it takes you higher. And really, it's a simple thing. It's not crazy at all, and it's not complicated. The human nature is rising to become one with the self, which is nothing but God, love, peace, joy, all that good things. And when we meet each other, it'll be a more beautiful togetherness in the understood intimacy of the space that we will be in, or we are in, and it will be that much more stronger than all the other things that's happening in the world, detached from it, not affected. So let's pray and bless the families that are doing the work to be good to each other and receive this blessing of His presence amplified within, to be able to do better, to be able to cope better, to be able to stop fights, to be able to bless each other and heal with love and kindness, to be able to do things that seemed impossible, to be able to rise up and live every moment like it matters, because it's beautiful and no one denies the truth of beauty when it presents itself before our eyes. Yeah, so we were talking about meditation. I go to this Momo shop, Pashupatinath, and sweetest Nepali family there. We love to go there and get blessed with their delicious momos, spicy chutneys. So I just happened to go there to grab some momos for myself, and the lady sat down and she told me, I'm not meditating, I'm such a bad girl, I'm not getting time to just sit for some time and meditate. It looks like you meditate a lot. And I said, no, right now we're meditating. This is meditation. You sitting down, taking your time off and sharing sweet energies, friend to friend, mind to mind. The space that we are occupying in the presence of God and the feeling of love, that's meditation. She looked at me like, wow, you don't have to punish yourself, you don't have to go sit for hours and hours and hours, although that's nice. Most of the time you are with yourself, and you have to, when you're with yourself also, you need to share and recreate this energy of friendship within. There's no enmity at all. Then that space is filled with so much love. It's impenetrable. Once you're touched with love and your heart's just completely a bubble, nothing else can penetrate it. No hurt, no harm can be done, and you can touch it only with love. It's an explosion of shared joy and happiness and togetherness, like a beautiful soul blessed us on this beautiful Easter day, March 31st, 2024. It's a beautiful day, best day ever in my life. So I'm glad it got recorded. Happy Easter to all. God bless everybody thinking of God and living happy, cheerful, helpful, kind, and above all loving within and with each other. The higher purpose, when revealed to you by doing the work of searching for the good within, is the strength that takes you along, makes you keep walking, and gives you the ultimate intelligence of discrimination to choose the righteous and the good, eliminating the noise around can help to hear the voice within. A lot of focus and one-mindedness and the will to sit in this space and receive this gift. It's doable, even with a noise around. The sound of this word or song or strengthening the soul tone of love, it's very strong, is heard even if it whispers. It is so beautiful and it's so attractive. The noise is distracting. It distracts you from the current path. If one understands this, choosing to search and find a higher purpose, and all the other bitterness and anger and the offendedness for other happenings actually gets eliminated or overruled by this higher purpose, even if those things were candidates to be presented in the court for justice. Even then, from this higher place, those things are overruled, and the higher purpose now stands dominating, and it gives you the strength to choose it and do it, even if you're weighed down by the baggage and the burden of these other things that has not been done or not been touched, not been fixed. One gets to a point where mistakes are okay, and some mistakes, and what things are broken, one is kind of calmed down from that aggressive nature to fix it, because one can see what's wrong, one can see how it can be fixed. But not all things can be applied, not all things can be fixed or done. So we keep searching for the higher purpose, and if that's seen to you by God's grace, you pray for it to be seen, and you see it, you believe it, you choose it, and walk on that path boldly, and watch the strength that emanates to make, when you're choosing something right, when your attitude is golden, the help comes. It manifests because it is very strong and powerful. The negative things seem stronger to dismantle our home every time we build it, but the truth is this powerful love within, and all these beautiful characters that rises up in the name of good virtues, and the kindness and the pre-existing state of forgiveness, these are way more powerful. And when one experiences it from within, first you're touched, and then you're chosen to touch others, isn't it? It's very, very, very powerful, because it gives you value to life. You feel so blessed to be alive, and you feel it's a narrow path, but we're walking on it. We're balanced, we're able to cope every day, every moment, because we chose to believe on faith, and we chose to convince ourselves to choose this higher purpose in life. That is what gets you closer and closer to God. If that is a goal of the soul, we have to keep getting closer and closer and become intimate with the source from which we came and we have strayed far away or thrown away, to be able to walk this path back home, making new ways, making new beginnings, making new pathways, and eventually be home for dinner. I beg your pardon for the background noise. The fan is on, so please bear with me, because it's really, really hot here. There's always some kind of a distraction around us, isn't it? That desperately seeks attention to our reaction to it, mostly negative. There are certain things that naturally offends and irritates and hurts and makes us mad, isn't it? We can divert that topic inward within ourselves. Imagine not imagine, it's really there, all the distractions, the distractive thoughts, the destructive reactions to those negative thoughts is what stops us, like a screen, to be able to see the real truth. What I'm talking about here is, what is this divinity within? You're talking about God within, you're talking about all the virtues within, inside of you. What is it, and how do you know that it's really there? And how do you connect with it? How do you make it practically possible to live with that and even enact the role of that divinity which you came to play in this world? How do you know? Let's just take a moment and sit with it. First, just accepting that there is some good within us, isn't it? Everybody has something awesome inside of us. And sometime in our life we're connected with that in some form or the other. For example, one may be connected to some kind of a talent within. That is God within. That full form, there are so many children nowadays that are so talented and manifest perfection in their exhibition of art, colors, even songs or dance. That is a solid proof that there is something within that is awesome and that's good within, and you feel good being with it. Not only do you feel good being with it, but you feel great when you share it with others, and then the others are enjoying that beauty that you have brought out and willingly sharing with others. Are you following me? So that's one example. And it's vast. It could go to just being a good person. Finding the part of ourselves that is valuing the human life, understanding what exactly is good character, choosing the good in the first place, and practicing it every day, every moment of your life. That's divinity. And if you can be in that state of mind all the time without being distracted, absolutely focused on the divine self and radiating a beautiful smile or a beautiful word or anything that spontaneously erupts depending on the need that is around, or just being with it. It's very simple, actually. Very, very, very simple. The distractions around, everything anti-life, anti-God, everything twisted makes it seem like it's complicated, but it's not. Once the veil is down, you see what's in front of you, isn't it? Once all the noise is shut down, There's peace and quiet. At least this is an experience for me. And it could be different for different people. But this is an experience for me. Let me just add that this didn't come naturally to me. I realized it later in my life through some experiences that I even have a purpose in life. And excuse me. And I have a beautiful voice that just erupted one day. It's a different story. Because the truth is, I was not like that. You were brought up and born in a place inheriting certain qualities and nature of what comes from your parents and how you live, and then all the experiences you've had with people around. I grew up being hated, absolutely thirsty and deprived of love. Of course, I was loved in every way that was possible for my parents to give. But when the transformation from within started, it was not easy. What needs to be eliminated and what needs to be cultivated, which is already there, accepting that it's there, it's terrifying, because to be able to express goodness or to express something so beautiful from within, the habit of all the time being shut down, or my confidence not being strong enough to face all those distracting disturbances and negative it brings you down. It's not empowering or uplifting at all. It's always like you're swimming against the force of the river, and you're walking against the power of the wind that is trying to blow you away. So I'm here and I'm saying these beautiful words because I feel good sharing it. I have done it. Anybody can do it, and this is the path I have chosen, or which came to me. It is a gift. It's a gift from within. The gift can be expressed in different ways, but the main gift is that yes, there is goodness within. There is God within. And slowly it will keep revealing itself to you, because for children it's intimidating for some reason. But it just takes one step to just accept it. And then one thing follows the other, and soon you will be walking down the road and you will reach your destination. No matter what, we're all alone. We're walking our path. We're walking on our own two legs, and we have our own mind to babysit. We have our own bodies to take care. And what goes on in the internal system, operating system. So that it's simply that when you see someone having it or walking with it, then I think a human being can connect with it, and then you communicate, and then there is a beautiful relationship of love going on between the two souls, or how many of our souls come together in this beautiful way, creating a web of pathways which walks on love, friendship, trust, goodness, just knowing. There's no other complicated anything, envy, jealousy, thinking something in the mind, saying something else, and all those rubbish that goes on in the world, trying to not able to connect and have a relationship. All that gets eliminated. It's beautiful. There are no side effects to try it out. It only has a good effect. It is possible to live in a world full of chaos with quiet peace and silent joy. Human nature is always side by side with the self. It's called the divine self because it's been taught from time immemorial, the realizing of the self, self-realization, divine self, so on and so forth. I'm not sure if it's the same as the soul. The soul is something that carries the body and the mind and the consciousness and the awareness around it, calling it a being. The work that goes on within, inside of yourself, and you call that the self, right? Human nature finds it difficult to be in tune and one with this self. Usually it's considered a higher realm, a higher energy of awareness of oneself. You know your nature to some extent. One could be carrying a lot of energies coming from their parents, where they lived, where they were born. Everyone is different, that's why. So you know when you carry a virtue of kindness. Everybody has good and bad in them, some more than others. But you know when you're a kind person, you're a kind person. You're a helpful person, you know, you have that part of yourself as a good quality inside of yourself. Knowingly or unknowingly, the path and the journey is about this human becoming one with the self, meaning completely an embodiment of goodness. Wouldn't that be nice? There won't be any conflict with anyone because they have found the peace and the unity within themselves. Simple things in life. Sorry, I was not gonna. I was not able to come. I'm sorry. What can we do now? Can we move on? It's magical. Simple things in life. That means you're accepting that there are things in human nature that is, it's nature to react when you're abused. You get angry when you're offended. The human being cries when you're hurt. It's mostly seen very vividly in children, isn't it? Because they are raw, they're a form of a raw energy. You see all these parts come out of them, then you console them. You touch them with love, and carry them with compassion, soothe their grief. That's how we grow. It's become so mundane, and it's become a very fast-paced experience that one tends to miss out on the details. It's important to slow down and kind of expand it, zoom in, and if you're in the path of perfection and wanting to keep getting better every day, what else matters in life? After we're gone, nothing matters. So while we're living the life, why not make it beautiful every day, every moment, and choose it? Yes, we do go into the lows, the extreme lows of whatever names they have called it out there. Depression, sadness, can't take it anymore. Go kill yourself. That's extreme weakness, because one does not have the right to take one's life. It's demonic. You're possessed, and you're so overwhelmed by that energy that you give up hope that it's not possible. No, it's just a thought. One thought can change everything, and then you start coming on the right road and right track, and then keep working on it, and then it keeps getting better and better and better. It's like filling a bucket. If it has dirty water, you just keep filling it up with good water, and as it gets filled up and then it overflows, all the dirty water just comes out, and eventually there will only be good water remaining in it. Considering this body is this bucket and we have all this stuff inside, get into relationships, we're living a life, we have families, we have people around. Think about it. There's a reason for it. And just snap out of it for a second and just sit in the space and think, how am I going to be better tomorrow? I'm telling you, it's magical. Impossible things can happen, miraculous happenings can change, within, and create this vibration around you in the space that is, whether the person is around you or not, it is effective. When you think of a person, their vibrations, their intentions affect you. I personally want, when somebody thinks of me, for them to get good energies, for them to feel good, for them to feel blessed, for them to feel a little more hope in life, and more confident and more enthusiasm to change whatever they're going through. So, but it's very difficult for the human nature, because it is entwined with this entity called ego, and it's big and huge. Well, seems like, when you compare to this other divine self, they're not separate actually. It's just waiting for the human nature to change, and a little effort can really, it's easy. It's possible. So we'll pray. I'll keep doing the effort, simple teaching, and what the human nature feels seems natural. That's why it's called nature. It's natural for it to be offended, get angry, get in war quickly. But using the virtues of the divine self, which is kindness, forgiveness, love, mainly love, it is totally possible to contaminate the human nature with those qualities and take it higher and change it, transform it into its kind, the self's nature, which is all these good qualities. Of course, there are a lot of human beings naturally, they're good, they're kind, blessed souls around. Make use of, be around good people, make you feel good. So as they keep coming together and they intertwine and become one and find the balance, then I guess theoretically a person can radiate a lot of love and a lot of kindness. And whether you're interacting with a person or having a relationship or not, just being like that and living a life full of love, forgiveness, overcoming your own human nature of offenses. And even if you're right, that person did something to you, and even if you're right, not taking it to the point where it becomes war and conflict and just nipping it at the bud, or just diffusing the bomb makes a big difference. Come on, we've all fought enough. We've all hurt each other enough. When you're hurt, you hurt the other person. You keep telling them, don't do this, it hurts me. But they also have to understand on their own that doing that's hurting somebody else. See, it's a self's work. Each one has to do the work within themselves. The other person can do that work for you. That's why it's called self-realization, self-transformation, self-improvement, self-transformation, isn't it? So think about it. It's a good word. Feels really good to be there where you're at least taking the first step of overcoming certain things that doesn't sit good with your good heart, especially when you know you have a part of yourself that's kind and good and is a helpful person, and you have these other qualities side by side. It feels like a dichotomy. That's what people call it, many names out there, but that's the world. They commercialize everything, medicate it. Oh, if you walk on this path spiritually, it's a habit, it's a way of living, and it's not even religious. It doesn't have to be ritualistic. It's just thinking, okay, today I'm going to be a better person at work. Today I'm going to make sure that I don't react. Try it. It's very easy to tell the other person you did something, so that's why I'm getting angry. It's very easy to do that. But just turn it towards inside yourself, because watch, we're getting angry, we're getting offended. Why not work on that and try not to react? Very difficult. But so what if it's difficult? Most of the best things have come out of hard work and difficult work, right? Even music, people play instruments, it's difficult. They have to challenge their bodies and they have to put up with a lot of pain, work hard, and then to bring out this beautiful music. And it's just like that. Bring out the beautiful self of yourself. Well, let's do the work and keep improving every day for that human nature to become one with the divine nature. And watch life improve, watch life your own. If you're in your own space, make best use of it and be good in that space and own that space and be confident about that goodness. Doesn't matter if it's devalued, doesn't matter if somebody else is mocking it or it doesn't matter. If you know the truth and you're walking in it and it feels good to you, just do it. Now, since we are on the roll here, I just thought I will add one more good word to share, which is prominently dominating my mind's thoughts as I have been observing certain patterns and behaviors in those around me and within myself. So it's been quite some time since circumstances coincidentally or divinely manipulated for me to see and know what is happening honestly, and I gave in to it and I boldly accepted and walked with it. From leaving my permanent IT job in Seattle, which I climbed up a very difficult ladder throughout my 15 years of experience, wanting to be independent and financially free. So I wouldn't say I made the choice. I would say we made the choice, because I saw what was coming and what was happening in my life at that time, and I chose this path. Like I said, because it went along with my experience with the divine spirit, kind of guiding me, and so it's been quite a while. It's been almost 15 years now, and I reflect from this place back. I have never been deprived of money or food or a shelter. I realize it's a miracle. It's a miracle life, because I made that choice. Do I think about it? Do I think about wanting to be independent again and wanting all the money and not be dependent on somebody? Of course, because it doesn't just go away. But the choice has already been made. We've moved on. We're not going backwards. So just thinking about it and reflecting about it, it's not that harmful. Because trust me, I lately, even that strong part in the human being that desperately wants to save itself and wants to react, thinking nobody's there to take care, and you kind of fall into that dent of insecurity and doubts and all that. But he never lets you go. If one believes there is a invisible spirit God, not just outside but within, and then there's more distractions outside here. So but even though in my later life, I'm 50 now, I got a job in Bangalore, and I got selected and all that. It didn't work out because I couldn't relocate. I didn't have any money to relocate. So you see, you exactly like how it happened that time when I left the job, or should I say, it was a turning point in my life, where I wrote a letter to God just in a sticky note saying, is it your will for me to follow the ministry or not? Is it your will that I choose the spiritual path and I leave this? There were challenges. My body was going through stuff, and commuting was a big challenge, and my mind was not 100% able to give myself to that worldly act of coming for a job, getting a salary and all that. In 1 hour, my boss called me and said, I think there's a better thing for you. He didn't even say you're fired. It was so beautiful. I folded my hands, I smiled, and I said thank you, because that just reiterated my talking to God and asking Him if this was my path and is it time. And it happened just like that. I didn't do anything. Of course, people don't believe me, and they don't trust me when I say the story. Other things happened, and they make up stories. This is my story, and I'm telling it. So it's up to people whether to listen and accept it or not. So even later in my life, it didn't happen. So you are actually, it's very clear to you that which door is closed and which door is always open, and how that hand in your life always is there to give you when you need something. Slowly you start to minimize all your desires. You don't even have any desires, because you realize you're well taken care of. You're being provided with everything that you need and even more. What we call living in the Lord's abundance of love. It is an exercise for the mind to see the truth of all the good gifts God has given in your life, to accept it and be happy about it, instead of running with this mind that is always trying to find something that is negative, or you don't have this, you don't have that, even if you have this. And there is some kind of a reluctance to show the world that you're living in the Lord's abundance and you're really, really happy. What does it matter what other people think? I have literally lived days of my life with absolutely no money in the bank, and yet I had food to eat, and so we were just doing the work and going with the flow until the next delivery came. And being in that space of confident faith that He's done it so many times, He'll do it one more time. This kind of path should not be mistaken as foolishness or something of a blind faith. I'm a very, very practical person. I've been very practical in my life. And this concept of what God has taught me, that came most of the time, it just came from within. I started to search, and I would search and I would find out what to do. For years there was no permanent job for me. I was in a lot of spaces between projects, and it was not a very smooth path. But through life's experiences, one gets trained One gets trained to train the mind, uh, and to go with the flow, you know. And one thing leads to the other, and you keep changing in the process. But it's very, very important not to mistake it to be something of a blind faith or something, you know, that is not practically going along with your mundane life. It is absolutely connected. He doesn't want you to fast or starve. He is actually trying to teach you how to live in God's abundance. What they call, living in God's economy. It's possible. And it's happened to me. It's still happening to me. And I don't think I'm ever going back. Because it feels good somebody taking care of you, isn't it? It feels good somebody loving you, somebody telling you, don't worry, it's all taken care of. So many stories are there in my life. So many situations, impossible situations, where something is blocked, and you think it's never going to happen, but it's the right thing to happen. Righteous living, assuming you're in the path of righteous living. That's my story. My whole life has been this attack on me to always choose negative path, or a path of lies or deception and honesty. Trust me, it's not been easy, and you're mostly hated for being so good. But I had a lot of goodness in me still to develop and reveal. It's a sad situation now, where the deception and the lies is actually being promoted, and without that you cannot live a happy life. I'm telling you, those kind of things that still looks like the same. It looks like abundance, it looks like you're living in a big happy life, but come on, everybody knows what's going on in the internal life. It's never satisfying. You're never happy, want more. Your mind is cluttered and just absolutely contaminated. So it takes time to clean up. That's what's been happening in me and in my life. There's been a lot of cleansing and cleaning up going on. Even symbolically, when my body went through a lot of experiences. So it's important to be honest within oneself, and to fight this war, which they say, the war of good and evil inside of yourself, with honesty. You can keep shifting back and forth, that's what they call dichotomy. And you can be on one side when it's reasonably reasonable to justify your fears, and then you're on the other side. Then occasionally you get you get into a very clean spirit and you're on this side. No, I'm not with those people. You can join me if you're honest about this path, and you're sincere about taking it out from where you left off, not all the way going backwards. It's so stressful and it's so annoying, actually, where you are with people, you're having a relationship, your own family members, and they're not steady. There's no consistency. Within 1 second, before, in the blink of an eye, they're in a different mood, they're in a different path, they have chosen something else. Now your entire path that you think you're walking with them and you're doing something with them is just destroyed. It's just that easy to break, but then you have to build it back again. Building is always hard, isn't it? So again, like I said before, it's not that complicated. It's actually simple. Once you choose it, just on faith and belief, even if we have all this accumulated thoughts of unwillingness, or believing that you're unable to do something, Even if we carry all those thoughts, we carry the burden of memories from the past, even if all that, just one step, just once, say yes. Say yes. And even if it seems or feels like you have, you have completely lost your mind, or you have left the world which was so awesome and so beautiful, in our heart and mind we know. I'm telling you, the relief I got when I finally got to leave that kind of a lifestyle. I'm not a slave to that, and I can completely depend on God. Let Him create my story. Let Him make me more and more beautiful. Letting me have a beautiful and pure relationship with love within, and all these things started to happen around me. Again, like I said, from where it depends from how you look at it. If you're looking at it from other side, it will look like I was suffering, but there wasn't. There was joy within. There was so much confidence building, and the faith just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And every situation, God's hand was in it, and He would come and He would bless, or He would send somebody, which we cannot even imagine would happen. He's a creative God. He creates people beyond time and space for us to be able to understand Him and accept His abundant grace in our lives. Are you following me? It is the only way to be free. It is the only way to completely be immersed in the self, but without hating the world, understanding that that's what it is. In prior stories and mythology and symbolic ways of making people understand that there is a war going on between good and evil, there is a war between righteousness and unrighteousness, and it was always a form of there was a form of a being, either in a demon form or in a human form, that was fighting, and then the end of this war would be that the evil is killed. But here we're talking about patterns and thoughts and regenerating accumulated energies of poverty-stricken mindsets and narcissistic behaviors and whatnot. The evil is in the human being, manifesting its ways of hurting people and hating people and creating disturbances and all those things. So at least this is how I understand it as. Here I think the evil is not destroyed at all, because through my experiences with relationships with minds like that, we always hope they can change or they will change, but no, it's a dead end. There was a word that came through a newspaper into our house one day, and it said, it is impossible to fail in everything, but you're almost there. Before that one particular being was eliminated from our lives and we moved on. You see, these minds never change because it's an energy, it's a pattern, it's so easy. The negative patterns are so engraved and ingrained in to keep manifesting again and again and again and again. It's effortless for that. But it's all effort for the good, for us to choose the good reactions, not to get angry at that, because it's meant to make you angry. I've come a long way in understanding that what it meant to not react. Because when one reacts, what happens is these energies transfer to you, and then now you're in a fight. That's what they want. They want a dysfunctional relationship where your mind is disturbing, and when you have disturbing exchanges of energies, and then makes you feel contaminated again, makes you feel dirty again, and you want to clean up again. But in this war, let the evil be evil, let the bad be bad. Let the broken be broken. Each one can continue to keep doing the work within to eliminate all that contaminated, energies within us. Then, when it starts to clean up and clear out, we start to see God's hand in our lives. Even in the most simplest ways of living, giving. I have given so much while having nothing with me. Trust me. And that joy that one gets to do that on faith, there is no match for it. And then there is a kind of a freedom in that kind of a living. You're freely moving around in the space that you're in with no, uncomfortable feeling or fear or any kind of, dirt basically attached to you. If we have it inside, then it attracts that from outside, isn't it? Why this topic came so strongly was because one of my friend, I was suggesting something, and then because of the money issue, or see, one has to be honest about the problems that we have in life. It should not be embroidered with all this other, there is no clarity about exactly what the problem is, because there is unwillingness to reveal exactly. So many people have so much money, especially like enough to live a happy life. I'm living with minimum or absolutely nothing most of the time, and I'm happy. I'm walking around with a smile. And people, are amazed. It's like, you have so many problems. How come you're walking around smiling? He said, I don't have many problems. You have to be honest about exactly. And then I've also, like, even when I was living with my son, I was asked to spend on something that was needful and necessary for the family. I brought him up like a prince. Again, like I said, whenever I get, it's not like I get the money and then I spend it. It was not like that. There was thought behind it. There was intention behind it. And I was following a certain righteous path. And there's an energy behind it. You know when you're wasting money on something else, and then you give excuse to spend on something that's needful. See, there is that poverty-stricken mindset. You say no all the time. You say no to something that's needful to a kid, for example. No, spend on buying colors or buying a guitar or something like that for the kid to improve him, or to empower him or her to grow up into a good human being. That's important. Buy him enough clothes. Buy him the right, things to make them feel comfortable in their skin. And for yourself too. And you find that balance. Yes, it's not easy, but when it comes to spending for ourselves, we are so, we don't care. But when it comes to spending for somebody else, oh God, it's not that easy, isn't it? Even inside the same family. The giving and sharing and living in abundance starts within a family. It starts within yourself. Then it has to be practiced in the family. Then you're an example. If every family can live like that, nobody will be poor. Everybody will be living within their means. No, one would rather go and put that 150 GB on the phone to watch 1,000 videos on YouTube every day, isn't it? Even that, it's like cut off now. For at the present moment that I'm sharing this talk, I'm actually disconnecting from everything, and I actually don't feel that bad at all, because that addiction is gone. That's what it seems like. We'll see. The addiction is gone. The feeling of wanting to cling on to some worldly thing to make us feel secure to be living in this world is gone. No, it's a free fall now. It's a free fall of, flying with God and living with God. and it makes him so happy, and then it makes us so happy. It's exactly the opposite, transferring the spirit and of joy and love, and just being happy that you're a human being, and through this human part of you can experience the most profound nature of goodness or God within. It's amazing and it's beautiful. Living in the Lord's abundance is an art. It's a balance. It can bring out all the beautiful good virtues from within, create a balance and make you feel good from within, instead of keep falling towards the nature of, oh, I don't have enough, I don't have this, I don't have that, oh, we did this, we did that, so we cannot do this now. You see, it's rubbish. Actually, I will go into the detail of the story. I was suggesting my friend to get a rocking chair because she's pregnant, and when the baby comes, it's my experience just absolutely fantastic to just sit on the rocking chair and feed, and and it's a very good investment. And once they saw that the price, how do we even know to say that this is very costly, I don't want it? You see, that is where the poverty stricken mindset is disturbing our real path of living in the Lord's abundance. When He is giving it to you, He told me, the voice clearly told me one time, this is all covered in the budget, so don't feel like it's wasting. No, it's doing the right thing at the right moment. Even if it seems like that itself is a threat, that thought that, no, it's too expensive. I mean, they're spending so much on so many other things that money is just going away. I have even, we'll come to that topic in the later sessions about tithing, about putting whatever money you get, whether it's from a job or you put the 10% away. It's a very ancient concept of tithing for God. It's only 10%, it's nothing. And that savings can be used for something good. It really feels good when you give, then to receive again in abundance really feels good. But it's fear, mostly it's fear. And it's doubt. No, it's too expensive. We gave away that, we gave away this, we've cut down and we've gone into a very smaller room now. We cannot afford it. Okay, fine. Whatever choice you make, it was just a suggestion. Nobody's asking you to do this and do that. You see how the mind can go into complicated ways of thinking and bringing in past energies. Oh, this was an attempt to make the person live in God's abundance and do the needful for your body and the baby when it's required. And then you balance it out on other things. 15,000 rupees, I mean, they're having a job, they're getting plenty of money every month. I assume her husband is in a very good position, 15,000 rupees to not spend on something that will be an absolute blessing. You see? So, but it's okay, whatever choice you make, that's fine. But I was just trying to suggest it because it happened to me. All the blessings that came to me, I received, with the grace and dignity with which it was given. It was so beautiful. It comes to you when you're free and when you're open, and when you are in the space, not reacting or not doubting or not having any negative thoughts or offense. Basically, it's an offensive spirit. Then it just flows, it just comes. When the time is ripe, it just comes. Those kind of blessings and grace, it is not bound to a worldly time. As soon as we think, okay, it's not happening, then you give up, and then you start doing it on your own. You have to wait until you receive it, and it happens all the time. Never fails. Actually, it is perfectly on time, every time. Like I like to say, ETA on time. It's brilliant to walk on this path and to be perfectly in tune with that divine energy, you know, and receive the blessings, be filled with gratitude and joy, and learn these lessons of receiving and giving. And in those little ways in life, using the world's activities, when we practice those things, then we start to understand even what it is exactly it is to live in God's economy, or living in the Lord's abundance. I can talk about it now. It's been, like I said, it's been 15 years since I've been walking this path. Absolutely no regret. Absolutely zero flaws. Zero flaws. It's perfection beyond the human mind's perception. Of how powerful it can be. Simple love, simple living, glorious moments that you can have when you choose to rise up and live in the moment that it is. What am I going to do 10 years from now? Come on. 10 years back I was thinking 10 years from now it's going to be a totally different thing. Nothing that we think exactly what's going to happen is going to happen. That's what we need to come free of, that controlling nature, that the insecurity within starts to do all these things, run away, run around like a bull, do this, do that, oh I gotta do this, he's not helping, God's not helping, he's nowhere to be seen. So all that is a negative feeling. Instead, use that space to just calm down and sit in this space with quiet peace and let him do the work. When he is in charge, we don't charge. Try it. It's beautiful. This is what every human being naturally seeks, in abundance, and to experience that. It is not in accumulating and hoarding everything in the world, and there's so much competition, and there's no freedom for the soul at all. You're a slave to that. It is a deception. And we need to wake up and come out of it. Again, like I said, if that is your path and that is your goal, he allows you to have God and the Word. But in my case, I have chosen, it's been happening for a long time, and it's beautiful. Completely. I love the world. Don't get me wrong. I love all the good things of the world. And I choose what is good and what is not, and each one has different taste and choice. It's like in a family, two children are never the same. Each child has his own likes and dislikes, and what he wants and what he doesn't want. Living in that free mindset, when it comes time that God is going to choose you to give someone else in need, you're right there. And again, the joy is just abundant in that kind of a relationship. Yes, I know so many people are getting deceived. Everybody is asking for money, like I said, but there is an intention behind. When you're walking on God, you really know that it's good, it's true. And let God handle that. Let God handle the deceivers. Let God handle the people who are, taking advantage of innocent ones and pure ones. We keep doing our work. In God's world, and become more and more and more beautiful, and reflect God's perfect beauty on this earth, in giving and receiving and living in the Lord's abundance of love.